You could probably feel the vibe in the air. You guys seem like you're ready to bust it. That's because we're going to the Las Vegas of the Midwest.
Hey!
This isn't just something that me and Lucas consider the Las Vegas of the Midwest. It's actually like, people have said it before me.
It's a thing.
Branson, Missouri.
Branson. We never have been either. Apparently I've been when I was like 2, but I don't remember that.
These wraps are from Casey's, which I think is primarily in the Midwest. Viva Las Vegas! Whoa, we've made it to the Sin City of the Midwest. Yeah!
Isn't it actually known as Christian Vegas?
When we were driving here, we saw this big cross.
No sinning allowed, honey.
We are technically in like the Bible Belt of the United States. So yeah, it actually would be kind of the opposite of Sin City. It would be like the Holy City.
Wait, so what even is Vegas about it?
Because there's a bunch of touristy things. Like there's a big Ferris wheel here. There's some roller coasters, but there isn't any gambling. That's very unlike Vegas.
But there's a bunch of shows, glitz, glamour, lights.
60 Minutes in the 90s said that this is the live entertainment capital of the world.
Oh, okay.
There was this novel that was published in 1907 called Shepherds of the Hill, and it was about the Ozarks. So that novel kind of popularized this area, and then some attractions came. There was a cave, and I think there still is a cave now that people tour. A bunch of celebrities have shows here, like Dolly Parton has something here.
People from America's Got Talent. There's this big billboard for this magic man, and that reminds me of Vegas, giving Chris Angel.
We checked into the hotel and we're actually in VIP Elvis parking because we're staying in an Elvis suite. People love Elvis down in Branson, I guess.
That kind of adds to the Vegas lore of it all, you know? He was the king of Vegas back in the day.
When you're in Vegas, most of the time you stay on the Strip.
The main drag.
Unfortunately, I chose a hotel that's not on the Strip. The Strip in Branson, Missouri is 76 Country Boulevard.
We're kind of walking in a ditch right now.
Oh
my
golly. We have made it to the Strip, and you know you've made it to the Strip because you see a replica of the Titanic.
It's the largest replica of the Titanic.
Wow, this is way more calmer than Vegas. There's been times when we are in Vegas and we're walking around and then someone like tries to put handcuffs on you.
These people dressed up as police officers and they say you've been bad and like start gripping your arms behind your back.
They try to force you to take a photo with them.
And somehow
to pay them.
Somehow they want you to tip them for fake arresting you. So I'm glad that isn't happening here yet. Are we in Hollywood?
Lucas Cruikshank wins for Best Actress in the Barbie movie.
Thank you guys so much.
Stuff like this does remind me of Vegas. It just is so over the top. It's some like theme park thing.
It actually excites me so much. Just like, what? The building's upside down?
We saw there's a Ripley's Believe It or Not place where there's like a maze.
Believe it or not.
I do believe it though, is the sucky thing.
Oh yeah.
There's a big cock across the street.
Ew. I thought this was Christian Vegas. A lot of these places seem like they're closed, maybe because it's Sunday, the Lord's Day.
There's this place called the Windmill Inn and Suites, and I wanted to stay there, but if you look a little bit closer, it's actually closed.
There's this amusement park right here off the Strip, but either that ride is stuck up there and people are stuck in those seats, or it's closed.
There's this little cute shopping area, but it says courtyards are for customers only, no trespassing or loitering. If I'm like planning on like maybe I'll buy something.
Yeah.
Is it fine?
It looks like it's closed, but this is very Disney Springs adjacent.
Yeah, it's reminding me of a Disney type thing. Sometimes in Vegas they like throw those cards at you that have naked women on them.
Oh yeah, and it says call this number for an in-room massage.
We looked at quite a bit of the strip of Branson, and we decided what we want to do is go to the Hollywood Wax Museum. I want to see Channing Tatum in wax.
John Stamos?
Oh.
Please, please. So I snapped a photo of this. John Wayne. I thought that was James Dean. I stand corrected, it's Elvis Presley, I guess. They're guessing because of the hair. They're saying that's Marilyn Monroe. I think the AI might have this wrong. And then Charlie Chaplin, oh, that probably is.
Okay, to be honest, I don't even see Elvis or Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, they botched her.
Joe! We made it to the Wax Museum. It was like $60 to see wax, but hopefully it's worth it.
That actually looks like Sandra Bullock, but I don't see Seth Rogen.
I do.
I just see this one guy who goes to my gym.
Okay, this one doesn't look like a Joe to me. I wanna dance with somebody.
Are we allowed to touch?
You can't touch people without their permission, and these are people.
Oh, and they can't reply, so yeah, I'll decide.
So no.
Okay, if these are actually based on real life, like he is snatched. Hugh Hefner used to have a lot of girlfriends, but now he has a boyfriend.
I don't like looking at them because I honestly do think there's a person behind it.
Also, it's kind of scary for those celebrities that have actually deceased in real life. Wouldn't their soul probably actually go into the wax figure?
Mom, is this real?
Her face is like Chris Pratt. Like, don't you think they kind of just switched the wig? Like that could be Ryan Reynolds, Zac Efron, like little short king. Tom Cruise.
I thought that was that guy from A Night in the Museum.
Oh wait, is it Ben Stiller? They actually have props you can play with.
Oh.
To be just like Charlie Chaplin.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold this over here because I don't want to get lice. Basically, this type of museum is just being delusional for 30 minutes.
I know.
This is the modern pop star area. Justin Bieber, Post Malone, Ariana Grande, Ed Sheeran, Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj.
Have you looked at one in the eyes yet? You actually feel something.
You're creepy.
I'm just looking at her shoes.
Stop it, that's weird.
Hey!
Stop it, that's rude. 60% of them, even 80% don't look good.
I know, you can kind of just, you guess who it is from the props around them and the outfit.
So what? I don't know, it just doesn't look like Katy Perry.
That's why I'm not even kidding, I do think there actually is a few faces and they switch the hair and props based on who it is, you know?
Because they want to save money. What happened to the kitty cat that had too many babies? She turned into a dog. I got laughs, none of them got laughs.
Don't look at her cleavage. Jacob, that was on camera.
I wasn't looking at it.
No, do a replay. It's disgusting. I'm actually scared of this room.
I know, because we're in like this like devil room now, and it kind of sucks because now we have to go downstairs, and I don't really want to go downstairs.
What if a killer's actually in one of those and they're pretending that it's a wax figure?
I knew that's what you were gonna say. That's why I wanted to rush through there. Elvis.
Okay, is the TikTok ready?
Yeah.
Hi, Dad. Should I pose here too? People will think I'm part of it.
Feels weird being back in real life and seeing normal people.
I know if they're moving.
It turns out I like people more when there's no soul behind them.
I know. Just gross seeing actual people.
For dinner in the Vegas or the Midwest, we're gonna eat at an over-the-top restaurant, Pasgetti's.
Biscottis.
Guys, do you see that? There's a fork and a meatball, a giant one.
Isn't it actually the most giant fork in the world? Maybe it's more specific. Maybe it's the most giant fork with a meatball in the world. We have to go on the meatball.
Oh my gosh! Oh, this is insane. And now we're out of the meatball.
That's goofy.
And then there's a tomato that looks like it's about to fall.
And there's a bell pepper over there.
Little Lucas and Jacob walked into the spaghetti
Pasgetti's.
Even though it looked like no one was there was people there. There was like 8 other tables.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be empty, but yeah, people are here in Branson. In like a fake town.
Right when we sat down, I asked Lucas, wait, so people live in these apartments?
You were like, oh, wouldn't it be too loud to live in those apartments? Because you're right next to the restaurant, but the decorations were that real. realistic, you know?
Yeah, I believed it. Anyway, we started looking at the menu and they have a bunch of Italian food. If you guessed they have Italian food, you guessed right. Since this is like a meatball place, we had to get meatballs as an appetizer.
It came with 2. There's 2 of us. It's meant to be.
These are homemade meatballs. Like someone was in the back, like putting their bare hands and in meat and like seasonings and mixing it.
Oh yeah, just getting into it. Long, bad baby fingernails on, you know?
Eyelashes keep falling out and going to the
Yeah.
keep putting them back in.
Just smashing it together. And you could tell from the taste.
I just love homemade meatballs way more than these frozen ones.
Oh, for sure.
When I was munching it, I was like, okay, it makes sense why they have the world's biggest meatball.
Oh yeah, because like these meatballs are hitting.
Okay, we munched on the appetizers. What's next?
Time for the mains. For my main, I actually got another meatball thing. Was this called the trio? Something like that. Basically, it's their 3 most popular items. Spaghetti and meatball. I think it was called like Daddy's lasagna or something, and Alfredo. I didn't even want the Alfredo, but I wanted the lasagna and the meatball and the spaghetti, so I thought that was a good choice. And this proved to me that the meatballs are homemade because this meatball wasn't as good as the appetizer meatball, which I enjoyed because I was like, that's cool how they're actually 1 of 1. Each meatball you get is a 1 of 1.
I get it. I got penne al vodka with chicken because I wanted to get drunk. We're in Vegas.
Let's get the alcohol going.
So I obviously had so many bites and it was delicious, but it didn't really taste like penne al vodka to me. It was more of a little kid thing, which makes sense because if you look at this whole building and stuff, it's more of a little kid type restaurant, I could tell.
Yeah, I feel like vodka sauce is usually like a pink, whereas this was just a red.
To sum up our food, this is basically what it was. Both of us wearing long wigs, long eyelashes, flipping off the camera.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it felt like when the food arrived.
The car just drove past. I wasn't doing that to you. Like, I actually would have pictured it to be kind of just a gross place, but it wasn't.
For sure, it was kind of kid food, but they made it just kid enough where an adult could still enjoy it. As you can see on the building, it says restaurant and attraction. So once you're done eating, you can go up to the upstairs. There's a bunch of arcade games.
There's even a Ferris wheel up there.
But the Ferris wheel isn't open. I don't know why it's not open. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go to this restaurant is to go on the spaghetti Ferris wheel.
I know, it was out of order apparently. I'm calling BS. You have kids in the room, that stands for butterscotch. That is cool, a spaghetti restaurant with a Ferris wheel inside. Like that is cool.
There was a motorcycle that drove past us and he was wearing sunglasses. Then he lifted the sunglasses when he drove past us.
I thought he was like waving at us. I turned away before he did the sunglass thing.
I think us being on this curb in these little skimpy outfits is making people think we might be trying to sell our body for some cash.
Well, we're turning this place into real Vegas.
We just saw a Lamborghini, which that's something that would happen in Las Vegas.
And it has to be a hey good. If you guys don't know, that's like the #1 show in Branson. It's a family that sings together. Lambos, money, drugs.
Hot women. Finally, we found a place to sin and drink. We got 1 drink and we were like, oh my gosh, it feels like we're in Vegas. And then I brought up to Lucas, should we get another drink? He was a little bit hesitant, but he decided to say yes because he got peer pressured by me.
We might as well have 2 drinks before going to the show, because before you see live entertainment, it's always good to be a little bit tipsy because you never know if it's gonna be good, you know?
No, that's a hack in life.
We were talking in there and we were like, this is our first time sinning in Christian Vegas. My mind flashed back to when I objectified wax Nicki Minaj's ass. That's a sin. Also at dinner, I did gluttony. I was full and I kept eating. I've sinned a lot today and I don't even realize it. I didn't even realize it.
What, the Americana Theater?
It looks like it's been here a while.
These lights and stuff are reminding me of a day when I wasn't alive. So it's Sunday today. There was a lot of gospel shows happening, but I decided to go to comedy and country. Let's laugh and hear some country music with like the fiddle and shit.
Now there's honestly nothing I want more right now.
Those are the celebrities we're gonna see tonight, probably.
Ah.
So we got into the showroom. already someone like warming the crowd up doing comedy.
Talking about his family, doing all these jokes about his wife not liking him or something, like that type of energy, you know?
People were actually laughing in the theater, but also there was a fake laugh track for the comedy. Like I've never really seen that until then.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice it till you pointed it out, and I was like, wait, it's like a sitcom thing.
Then the curtain went up and the show started, and they were just playing country banger after country banger.
It was all classic country songs, so I feel like I probably knew 25% of the songs?
Dolly Parton, Patsy Cline,
Reba McEntire,
Garth Brooks. But then there was also a few, like there was these girls called the Duffs.
The Judds.
Oh, the Judds.
I know, who were the Judd sisters? I wanna get into their discography.
There was a whole set of people singing, doing instruments, but then there was this comedy boy. He was the guy in the beginning hyping up the crowd. He came out again dressed as Joan Rivers, and the whole character was, I'm Joan Rivers revived, and this was honestly my favorite part of the show.
At one point, the main woman was yodeling, and I just feel like there needs to be more yodeling. I need to just listen to more yodeling in my day-to-day life.
Jiggle. Okay, so it's been an hour. Now it was intermission. There was a gift shop that had like a bunch of cool hats, like I don't dial 911, kind of talking about the Second Amendment.
Yeah, it showed a gun.
And then there was a few ones about like Christianity.
They had a bunch of Trump hats, so obviously I had to get one. I got this one. First of all, I love the color. Hunting deer and drinking beer. Like if you know me, if you know me in real life, like that's my vibe.
Basically, they don't waste any of your money because there was an hour worth of show, and then an intermission, and then another hour worth of show. The show was $50 each. You're there for 2 hours, so you kind of do get a good, like you get a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, it's a long show. Like I'm used to these Vegas shows where they're 45 minutes to an hour. They want you out of the theater, back in the casino spending money. This place, they have nowhere to kick you out to make more money off of you, so they actually give you a full-on show.
So the second part of the show was kind of a patriotic America theme, and also gospel Christianity. So this part of the show was more tugging on people's emotions, I guess you could say.
And people were loving it. Like when they got into those Christian songs, like that guy next to us stood up. Their song was like, He Is Alive or something. So like he was feeling that lyric. America, and it was saying, what was it saying? It was saying like lemonade stands, but it was saying it was listing all these things.
Driving in my Chevy.
Yeah, driving in a Chevy, fireworks or something. Like it actually just was like, I guess that is America. Also, the comedy guy did do a little grandma bit. Felt like it went on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he was like bent over or something.
Yeah, it was him.
Part of the time.
It was about him being a grandma, and he was like farting and stuff, having digestion issues. 5 out of 5.
I wasn't bored any of it. I was just like. We are at Crazy Craig's treehouse. It's right over there, and it really isn't a treehouse. Don't you love how it just says open late? There's not even a time.
I know, that's just fun. It's crazy.
Music was blaring, and we saw this sign that said cheeky and not cheeky. And I knew right then, this is gonna be a fun place. It said stuff that's not cheeky is rude behavior, fighting, and stuff that's cheeky is like dancing and having fun.
And when we got in, I was surprised. It was packed. There were groups, they were rowdy, being rambunctious, just living it up on a Tuesday night.
There was this group of people in their 40s, and we looked over at one point, and they were doing a tongue contest.
Honestly, this guy had the biggest tongue I've ever seen in real life. You know, you see those big tongues on Ripley's Believe It or Not, but his like came out, and then it was like a snake, and he was wiggling it. And then this other guy came over, and they were like, and people were saying, oh, he has an even bigger tongue, but they never actually did a tongue off. But a tongue off almost happened.
Oh crap, and then also, when we first sat down, they gave us a sample of one of their mixed drinks, and it tasted like mint, and I loved it, but I never ordered a full one.
Tropical, and the whole energy in there was tropical. They had 2 cans.
It just had a fun and carefree energy. This is pretty silly. I saw that one of the bartenders was handing people drinks. What would you call that?
Just a grabbing device.
We got a few beers. We were grooving.
I know, it's honestly just fun in there. Chatting, watching other people, just living that crazy life. There was a thing on the wall that said crazy life that I was facing. I just kept looking at it, and I feel like it was just putting stuff into my brain, like, let's keep it crazy.
We were about to leave, but then this group of people said, do you want to play pool upstairs? So we decided to play, but we also wanted to leave. So the entire time of playing pool, we just were trying to come up with an excuse to leave.
Yeah, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. So eventually I just had to get up and leave. And I was at the door of the bar. And then Jacob was walking down the stairs because we were in the upstairs section. And one of them had their arms like over the staircase being like, you can't leave. But like, we were like, what?
It wasn't like scary. It was just more the vibe of like, they just wanted to like us to stay there till 1 o'clock. But we were like, oh no, we're gonna go. That wasn't that fun, but overall, I did have a cheeky experience at the treehouse.
Woot woot.
We're running back to the hotel because it's thundering right now.
You gotta think about it. If you were in the Grand Theft Auto, you would run. You don't make your little sim walk.
Now we're back home, the Elvis Presley Penthouse.
Look at him up there. He's waiting for us.
When we first got here, I got kind of scared because I kind of thought someone was in our penthouse.
What are they doing? It's our penthouse. Get out.
But then I just realized it's Elvis. He can stay.
Yeah.
There's this red staircase that leads to this penthouse. I'm not really viewing anything as glamorous right now because all I hear is thunder and it feels like we're on Friday the 13th.
I know. Once you walk in, you see this crowd of screaming fans because that's what Elvis's life was like.
This is sort of the pouty room. I would say this is more of like the Playboy Bunny house.
Yeah, this is where Elvis would let loose after a show.
I don't know that much about Elvis, but I watched the Elvis movie that came out in like 2021, and I also watched Priscilla.
Yeah, that's basically the extent of what I know about Elvis as well.
When we went into this hotel room, one of the employees was kind of showing us around, and Lucas asked, is this actually something he wore?
And he said, that's what I've heard, but he wasn't really that convincing. This is something from like Spirit Halloween, but
then again, when you look on the side, unless it's all an illusion, there is a lock. But I feel like it's not authentic at all.
Yeah, he did not wear it because it's so clean. He would have sweat through that. But I do love throughout the penthouse they have tabloid covers featuring him. And as you'll see, like they don't only show good tabloids about Elvis. Like, they show sometimes he was in scandals, the public was against him. You basically just experience the whole roller coaster of Mr. Presley's life in this penthouse.
It's just kind of insane how much memorabilia they have. Like this is some Elvis Live Aloha Hawaii thing. Pool table is like 101 years old, supposedly. It probably doesn't work, but.
I love all the cheetah print.
You know, Elvis was a star. Everything's an illusion. So these windows, you'd think you'd be looking out at the Ozarks. You're actually just looking out in the hotel lobby. Wait, there's a dining table in this room. I feel like my brain just registered this. I don't know. This is when it gets kind of weird though. These statues.
I know.
They have throughout this penthouse. It's without like talking about Elvis like he's dead, but there is that conspiracy theory that he's alive. What if tonight he bangs on the door and he's pissed? He's like, you motherfuckers just view me as a freaking fake icon. You don't even know who I am.
He said, this is my penthouse. So right here is the powder room. This is resembling a green room. You're in the arena. It's before the show. You have your TV.
Hollywood, baby.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an Elvis song to sing, but I can't really think of one.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
This looks fun though. It's like bowling.
I know. What is this? Jacob, you are here.
Oh wait, should I try it?
Look down. You are here.
The way you said it, you made it like seem airy.
I know, but stuff like that is supposed to just wake you up out of the simulation. You are here.
But when the employee was showing us this hotel room, he was like, you guys should throw a party.
Now he was kind of disappointed. He was like, so how big is your group? And we were like, it's just us. So once you're done partying, you gotta have a space to live. Is the Coca-Cola just to kind of show classic Americana, or was he like kind of associated with that?
I feel like it's more of just about like Elvis's Americana, cause they even have Marilyn Monroe splattered all around her, like up here in this kitchen, Marilyn Monroe. I feel like it's kind of turning into this like all of old Hollywood glamour.
But I don't get why there's randomly a vintage scale. Was it he really obsessed with his weight? It actually talks about the conspiracy you mentioned earlier. FBI photo proves Elvis didn't die.
When I think of Elvis, I don't think of this person.
Oh yeah, this is Jailhouse Rock.
No one's in there.
Elvis, 42, fears he's losing his sex appeal. Psychologist explains Presley's tantrums and why at 230 pounds, he craves young girls and jelly donuts. Oh, his baddie era. Oh, look at those lights up there. You feel like you're on stage.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I've been waiting for this tour to see if this works. I don't think it works. Living room.
What is that? Radio?
Yeah, I think it's a radio.
Oh, please do not touch.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's a real guitar too if you want to play something.
Let's just say you made a friend. You go to their bedroom and they have a stopper in their bedroom.
Oh yeah, you would
kinda
know.
they're kind of badass.
Yeah.
Oh, you can literally sit on his face. How did I not know there was a movie called Jailhouse Rock?
You know the Elvis facts. Well crap, there's not a light to light this up, but this is a bunch of memorabilia.
There's 2 bedrooms.
So you got into this room, you have a very glamorous bed.
Oh, open that closet. I was gonna do that, for sure. Even the tile has his face on it.
He's everywhere.
And then this is the other room. This is more of a king and queen room, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like this is the main bedroom. Like, look at this bedding is so chic.
When I saw this bedding the first time we walked in, it reminds me of like the 2000s. The early 2000s.
This is still in my mind. Like, if I picture a rich person, like, this would be their bedding.
Elvis Family album? Did that ever come out? Oh, never seen before.
Wait, who's Linda? Did he move on from
That's
Priscilla?
like one of the side people he did it with, I'm assuming.
That's a little bit ominous. It says wedding photos being in a magazine, and the big thing on the top is new diet to prevent heart attacks. And again, maybe he would have died of a heart attack regardless of his diet, but then he died of a heart attack due to his diet, you know?
It makes me shaky how much Elvis there is in here. Like, I don't think I'm supposed to see 500 of one person in a 1,000 square feet room.
Like, it doesn't feel like we're actually gonna sleep here because it feels like we're in a museum.
Good night. Elvis wants your dreams to be bright.
Yay. Both of us woke up from our Elvis room slumber.
For some reason, I woke up every 1.5 hours and I had to go pee. And I was just walking around, seeing all these Elvis figures looking at me. Like every time I woke up, the first thing I saw was that big Elvis on the wall.
Something is unnerving about this room. Whenever I woke up, I kept thinking, is this gonna be my last night? They have breakfast included.
Free food.
There was like a bunch of stuff, like waffle maker stuff.
Biscuits and gravy in a crock pot.
Cereal, bagels, toast. So I definitely didn't want anything in the crock pots because I just didn't want like that type of food.
No offense, but I don't get who eats biscuits and gravy for breakfast. Like.
So I decided to just put a bagel in the toaster.
So far today, I haven't really turned into a person yet, so I kind of just am following you. So you did that, so I did that, and then you said, are you gonna have coffee here? And I just said, I'm just gonna do whatever you do.
And then I didn't get coffee, so you did it.
Yeah. They did have an orange juice machine though that I got some orange juice.
Fully trying my best to enjoy the bagel, but I just couldn't because there was this 50s music blaring over the speaker. Everything looked kind of country, not from this era. It just started to make me uncomfortable because I had to keep reminding myself, okay, well in 2024.
We heard somebody say they've been here for 3 months. So we're gonna get stuck here.
This is as glamorous as it gets. Waking up in the Las Vegas or the Midwest is a little bit better than waking up in Vegas because I don't have any headaches from a hangover. None of my money is stolen from gambling.
When we went down to the lobby, we weren't inhaling smoke. Just a lot more wholesome.